You know? So yeah, I'm representing my client. So again, the question being, and welcome back. Again, to me, it starts with the principle that if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You really got to believe in yourself. You really, you know, and it's okay if that turns out to be in error, because then it was God's plan. It's very unlikely, but it's very unlikely you're going to be in error. But to believe in yourself and to say, hey, I want to do something that's really meaningful. And again, this, you know, as Michael's yapping, for the last 25 years of my life, you guys pay me to do what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a hell of a way to live. And that's, to me, why you should be here. I don't care what it is you love to do. I don't care if you love to make money, so do I. If you love to help people, yeah, so do I. You know, it's not binary, you know. But whatever you love to do, have somebody pay you to do it.
Yeah, what worries me about that statement you just made is that it scared me because you have fun doing it.
Why is that scary? Oh, you better have fun. But imagine when work becomes a 3-letter word instead of a 4-letter word.
Yes.
You know? And that's why, in my view, that's why you should be here. I'm not into the social justice stuff. You should be here because you're going to die, right? And while you're here, how cool is it to have other people pay you to do what you love to do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you got to figure out what you love to do. Then that should be motivation. So then that goes to, look, how one person, right, gets in logical reasoning the questions 17 through 25 and just zips through them. And that's what he's doing, right? I infer, I have an established fact, right? Which would be challengeable because I don't know if it's actually factual, but let's stipulate it is, right? But you get to now I'm inferring. So now I can be mistaken, but I infer that what that person does is gets from here to here, when this is complicated and dense and layered, right? Gets from here to here in a remarkably efficient fashion. I believe while none of us may get to that point, you know, we're in logical reasoning and we're doing that all the time on 17 through 24, there's little doubt, if any, in my mind, that we all can get from here to here in less time with greater efficiency if we just work at it. So no, maybe that's not going to be on questions 18 through 24 in logical reasoning, but it is going to be on questions 8 through 14. But it's a process, and you're changing the way, my position is you really are changing the way you think. And that can be a really hard thing to do because not for nothing, but you've been thinking the same way your whole life. You with me?
Yeah.
And it's whatever you've been doing, that's what you do. So I can remember like, I can't think of her name right now, but she sat right here in this front row years ago, and she'd been a school teacher for a bunch of years, and just getting out of that school teacher mode to reason this way. I just ran into Beth in the hallway, and Beth was in here last year. Beth's a journalist, and Beth is a presidential scholar in the school, and she's on everything's A+, right? But Beth, sitting in here, had the same comment, which was, I've been writing all my life, and I've never thought to write this way. And that's right, because you're a journalist, you're not a lawyer. And I'm saying, this is really cool if you can get it. Because whatever you do, you can continue to do. You don't have to change your profession. You're just changing the way. Yeah. And it's just more disciplined.
Yeah, structured thinking.
Yeah. So you gotta, and again, if this is like your first time around, you got nothing. You put, as far as I'm concerned, right? You put no time in, no matter what you're doing out of here, right? That to spend 9 months here is not at all unreasonable, and it will be what it'll be. It depends how you wire it. But you gotta want it, you gotta work it, and that's gotta make sense. And I'm inferring since you come back, it probably makes sense. It's just not easy.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. I don't want it to be easy. Right. Again, why would I want that? Why would I want what I've done for 30 years to be easy? But let's, no thank you. You know, I mean, I exist, at least for the moment. Now, so we just, so again, we've completed 3 sections of 79. Time is precious at this point, so I'll just do whatever you want me to do. Now, again, and I'll do that, I'll do that, but understand the choices you make, right?
The virus.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, right? But,
He said it's not worth it to do it.
I'm sorry?
He's saying it's not worth it to.
Well, no, everything's worth it. I'll do it. I was gonna say, who wants to do the virus thing?
I know that's gonna pop up one of those.
I don't have to spend the rest of the time on, well, to me, the virus thing is helpful in establishing how this stuff works, right? But when I say the virus thing, and then please, if you have any logical reasoning, and did you yell at me?
Not yet, but I was waiting.
Okay, well, let's not lose that, because that's gonna be more helpful in a concrete way than the virus thing, which is aptly called the virus thing. You know, look, in analytical reasoning, this jump, right, when you go from here to here, and this jump is you jump in the Grand Canyon, right, that's where failure comes out. So this is from Prep Test 79, Section 3, questions 18 through 23. Would it be fair to say, because you're thinking like lawyers now, right? Would it be fair to say when you looked at this, you were able to observe it was distinguishable from the other 3 hypotheticals? Yeah. So then you just stay the hell away, because you know what? Not everybody's doing that. Not everybody in that room. The person next to you has 35 minutes. The person to the left of you, to the right of you, in front of you, back, everybody's got 35 minutes. So you have plenty of time. They don't have time, you have time. The person who doesn't have enough time is trying to do this. Now, if they're a freak, it's fine. But if you're not a freak, and I'm not, then I'm going to prevail by letting people misjudge their own abilities. So I can give you a sense for what they did here, but I'm not going to go into any huge detail.
No.
First, they don't let you really draw anything. You're saying here, well, there are 6 computers, PQR, ST, and U. So, okay.
What number is that again?
This is questions 18 through 23
18 through 20.
in section 3. And here, I'll erase this stuff, so here's more. Oh, again, this is what I want you to focus on. When this jump is really significant, fail rate goes up. So they tell me I have 6 computers, PQR, ST, and U. Yeah, not lost yet. Right, so this would fall into the category of established facts. It's established facts, there are 6 computers. What else? Exactly 1 was infected by a virus from the outside of the network. So that's now a fact, right? So if I were representing that, I'd say, okay, here's the 1, and that has been infected by outside the network. And that virus was then transmitted between computers on the networks. I get it, I'm fine with this. Each computer receives the virus exactly once in the following information. So the explicit laws, that's all I can draw. Like, one of the 6 gets this, right? And then it's going that way. But now let me have some other facts which are established facts. The next one is that no computer transmits the virus to more than 2 other computers. Okay, so I'm not going to write that down. Of course, this at max can go to 2. Okay. Next, S transmits the virus to exactly one other computer. So S, I don't know where S is, that could be S, or I don't know where S is, but I can represent that S does that. Okay, so S is not the last virus to get the computer. S is not the last computer to get the virus. Everybody, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Next is the computer that transmits the virus to R also transmitted it to S. So now I stop and say, well, wait a minute. That seems to be saying there's a computer that transmits to R and also transmits to S. And so I can weave that second change in, these guys get weaved in together, because you said to me, once S gets it, S passes it on to one computer. So I'm still now, what I'm doing now is I'm making the transition from the explicit facts that are established to facts that are implied. Do we now agree that as a result of being informed as an established fact that S gives it to exactly one? Yes?
Yes.
And then the next established fact is that, well, whoever gives it to R also gives it to S. Don't we now infer that it looks like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the intelligence. Okay. What else do they give me? Then they say, oh, so that was R and S. So S is underlined twice, then there's R. Now you say to me, either R or T gives it to Q. So just stop for a second here. If you're going to say R or T is giving it to Q, when you're in a rush, you're not, again, everybody agreed that's a stated fact, yes?
Yeah.
And you say, but what is the person next to you who's going to do well? What does that person infer from that fact that you don't? Well, I infer from that, if you have R, T, and Q here, I infer from that fact that with respect to Q, neither P, nor Q, nor S, nor U can pass that virus to Q.
Correct.
You see, in other words, this affirmative statement could be phrased implicitly another way, right? Which is, and I'm not saying, but writing things, again, as a kid, we learned, does anybody, I'm inferring nobody does long division any longer, right? But I mean, as a kid, that's how I learned math.
Right.
It was long division, and then you went to short division, but only after you got long division down. Long division took longer. Well, I'm saying by analogy, you're going to learn more if you just stop and say, because I'm aware of inferences probably more readily than you are, because my life is, that's what it is, right? But this can be written to say, okay, and therefore, neither P, nor Q, nor S, nor U can give it to Q. Okay. You would never do that on the test. I'm just saying, if you slow yourself down, because it doesn't matter what analytical we worked on, right? It wouldn't matter. We would be doing this same process from the explicit information. It's the same thing I'm referring to as the derivative law. The derivative is what's implied. The derivative is what follows, but it's not explicitly stated. So it's also what's inferred. Okay, so I'm going to erase that stuff now, but what I'm saying is this statement means to me that it's really limited who can give this to Q. Okay. And that's R or T giving it to Q. And then the final one is T or U is giving it to P. Now, wouldn't this make you more sensitive to, now that you've said that T or U is giving it to P, that there are, in addition to P, there are 3 other computers that cannot pass the virus to P? Talk to me.
Right.
Well, you're building on a principle. That's what this, there's not, I don't think there's anything more important that this test is measuring than your ability to see the consequence of what you assert. Which is not what people do. They just want to assert stuff. Okay. So now TRU's given it to P, and that's it. So everything's implicated. What now, again, going from facts to established to facts that are inferred. Could I infer from this that if we're talking about who is this guy? Doesn't that guy or gal have to be let me see here, you or T? Doesn't the first computer, doesn't this computer have to be you or T?
Yes.
Slow down, take the clock off, and get the reasoning. Because I'm following the same reasoning. In other words, what I'm seeing here, right, is, okay, who can't give it, right? So when you think about the computer that passes the virus to everybody else, is it fair to say it can't be R and it can't be S?
Yes.
You can see it. Because they got to get it from somebody else, right?
Yeah,
And it can't be Q and it can't be P.
right.
Right, because they got to get it from one of these two. So you say, well, okay, so if I'm thinking about what computer gets it first, you know, that's either got to be you, or that's got to be T. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm not, there's nothing about this that says to me, start drawing stuff, which again is consistent with, it's funky. All right, so I wouldn't be drawing anything. You could do this. I mean, you can try to, bifurcate on these conditions. But I'm thinking, you know what? Either U is passing this on, or T is passing this on. All right. And then I'm done. So if I were just to take, and what they're going to do, it's very likely what they're going to do is at least reward you with a couple of like, don't you think you should be rewarded for making that deduction?
Yes.
And don't you think you are?
Yes.
Yeah, because question number 19 says, which of the following could be the computer that was infected from outside the network? And you notice that they didn't put both T and U there, because they couldn't put both T and U there, because they can both be infected. Yes?
Yes.
And then the first question, that 18 would be a little bit time consuming, but all 18 is going to do is violate the conditions. You know, so if I were looking at 18, and I say, well, can you have R to P? I don't have to go any further because I have a condition that says only T or U can give it to P. You guys see it?
Yep.
So you don't have to make everything an epic battle. Get a couple right, guess a letter, and get out of there.
Mm-hmm. That's my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, the test, there are tons of people taking this test who don't have a clue that they don't have a clue. And you may have been one of them. You know what I'm saying? You may have been in some prior life sitting there, and there's somebody up here who's talking about tricks and shortcuts and causing you to feel small because they're so bright. Oh, that's nice. That's a great thing to do with your intelligence. This is not about tricks. It's not about shortcuts. It's really about, can you reason it in a sophisticated way?
Right.
So you're going to lay out to me 18. 18's not going to be fast, but I'm going to get it right. 19's a gift. You know what? I don't have to bother with the rest of them. I mean, I can, all right, but if I've done my job on the prior three, I've given myself more time on the prior three. So that's how I would handle this. And I would stop there because it's still not going to make anything really easy. You'd be able to get 18 right, you'd be able to get 19 right. And then the rest, yeah, you're gonna have to work. But this is Yale. Right. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll take a little bit on
Yeah,
this.
a little bit better than that.
Well, we didn't go backwards. I didn't make it worse than it was. So I'll just say one more, anything else on the analytical one? Because just seeing the other ones organized is, that's not gonna take long. Yes or no?
Can you just show how,
Yeah.
for me anyway, can you just show how you set up the one before that, the 13 to 17?
Yeah, but that means I'd have to ask everybody to leave. Because you
No,
just
no.
said, could I do it just for you?
No, I meant,
Did you hear that?
I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it.
And now he says he didn't mean what he said. This is going nowhere.
I don't know if anyone else would.
Fine. It's really fun doing this.
I stepped right into that.
Well, then I was cad enough to take advantage of it. Okay. All right, so this is what's 13 through 17? Russ, 13 through 17? Yes. And I was saying, okay, let me just see what they did here. So what's explicit? What was I told? That we have teaching assistants, RST, and VYZ. RST and VYZ. Okay. And all I want to see is, can I get it in a position where I can manage it? That's it. I'm not trying to be perfect, just can I manage it? And what about these 6 folks?
Ramos, Samita, Giorgi.
Yeah.
Zane.
They're going to be assigned to labor markets and pricing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to draw L, M, and P. So here's L. Here's M. And here's P. And they're just going to drop into that. So I've seen this a million times. Okay. Each assistant will be assigned to exactly one course, and each course will have at least one assistant assigned to it. So there's just a minimum of one. Like everybody's going, right? And then each of these, so there can't be an empty course there. Okay. So it's labor, market pricing, and it's a minimum of one. Okay. So theoretically, I could have 411 right now, right? Theoretically, I mean, right now, we just have to have one in each, and it's got to add up to 6. And we have an opening for Michael, if anybody would like to see Michael. Okay. And now comes, so this is explicit.
Conditions.
This is explicit, right? Now I say, what else did you give me? And then you said, well, market has to have 2 assistants in it. So again, that's explicit. Okay. So you get 2. I'm gonna box it so I don't forget. And then I stop and say, well, what can I infer from that? Well, what I can infer from that is you either have 2, 2, 2, or 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, right?
What's the
Right.
6?
Anybody need Aristotle yet?
No.
Well, that's what they're testing. Then you say, well, S and T are assigned together. Well, well, hello. If S and T are assigned together, don't you see 3 possibilities for S and T?
Yes.
Wouldn't that allow you to trifurcate? So it's very different from the last one. They're allowing you to draw this. Now, I'm not going to do that right away, but that would just leap into my mind that S and T
Together.
are together. That's explicit, right?
Yeah.
But the jump they want you to make is what you're getting tested on. The only place you're getting tested on what's explicit is the first question, which is the rules of the orientation question, right? Everything else is not that. It's where does it take you? And that is the essential skill of every attorney on the planet. So where this takes me, because I'm prepared, is into 3 possibilities, which I'm going to draw, but I want the rest of my constraints. Okay. So does everybody see what I've and it's a recognition test. If this is the first time you're seeing this, then you're visiting. Okay, because there is, other than that, there's this we've done multiple times. They don't change this test. Okay, next. So that's S&T.
Mhm.
And they say to me, well, V and Y are not together.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it. So stop now. So now that's explicit that V is not with Y.
Mhm.
So underline V to Y.
Yeah. And Y and Z are together for pricing.
Well, the third one says Y and Z must be assigned to pricing if either of them is. So I want to just reflect on that, because that's what my law is. So that means either Y and Z are both assigned to pricing or they're both absent. That's what that means. You know, you want to go back over that language so that you understand the language the way I understand the language, right? But the writer has written that Y and Z must both be assigned to pricing if either one of them is.
Okay.
Well, hello, right? Doesn't that mean they're either both there or they're both absent?
Right.
Okay. So there's nothing they wrote I don't understand. So if I had that column here on the explicit law, right? Everyone in this room would understand the explicit law, and everyone in this room would be able to get the first question right.
Right.
Well, that's where the explicit law ends, right? What they're really testing you on is, okay, I gave you the law, how did you interpret it? That's a lawyer. So here, you're saying with P, you know, you're either having Y and Z, you know, or
Not at all.
neither one. So, in terms of the organization of this, how would you not organize it on this constraint? You're just trying to make things visual. All you want to do, forget the formal logic stuff. You just want to make it visual. It's going to be Civ-Pro, it's going to be Torque, it's going to be almost everything you do here. Make it visual. Makes it easier. Okay. So then I'm going this, this, this. And I'm going to organize on ST. Oh, I stopped underlining there. Y and Z. And there was nothing on R. So R is not restricted. Okay. And now comes, what can I make visual? And how concrete can it be? So does everybody agree, with S&T I can take 4 of the 6 letters and make it visual? Talk to me.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do. Cross out the S and you cross out the T. I'm down to 3, you know, because R can be anywhere, right? So I'm now down to trying to manage 3 of what was initially 6. Okay, so what do I have next? So this is done. Well, V cannot be with Y. So I don't know about you, but my eye goes to that middle hypothetical. Because if you look up here, I don't know. I just know the V and Y can't be together, right?
Mhm.
You look down here, I don't know where they're going. I just know they can't be together. This is different. Doesn't either V or Y have to be on L? And whoever's not on L has to be on P. Talk to me.
Yes.
Well, then I can visualize that. So this is either V or Y. And this is either V or Y. And you say, well, if here in this middle one, is it fair to say the only 2 that I have left are R and Z?
Yes.
Well, that's what you said. You get that your mind is going to what your eye has lost sight of.
Yes.
Okay, so over here I'm saying, okay, so I have the R and I have the Z. That's what's left to manage. And there's really not much here to do, right? If they put the Z here, then the Z would have to be here with the Y, right? And the V would be kicked over there.
Mhm.
Right? If they put the V here, well, then you can't. You know, you got to get the Z out of there. Yeah. Okay, so now I go down to the bottom one. So the middle one I'm ready to manage, right? And down, so what do I got here? Okay, well, down here I've got more to manage. V is not with Y. I have R, which can be anywhere, and I've got Z, and that's going to be identical to the top. So I'm writing them out so that I can see them, right? I'm not going to lose sight of them. Let me go up here to the top one. I'm just write the same thing. And I'm done. So it's organize, manage, and solve. So my organization is by trifurcation, right? But the organization is predicated on going from an established fact to an inferred fact. That's the whole bloody ball of wax, right? I don't know that I've made all of the inferences or deductions that could have been made, but I'm not going to go crazy about it because the person next to me has made far fewer. And I'm going to outperform that person. Now I would just say, well, let me see what I can get right. So I could care less that it says 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I could care less. If I've created the law, which is, again, the IRAC part of this is the law. We just created the law. All right, okay. Then I should be able to govern a straightforward issue. So if I look here at, so 15. Which one of the following could be true? I should be able to tell you what could be true. And A says R and V are both assigned to markets. R and V are both assigned. So here's markets, right? So they'd have to put them here or here, right? R and V. So if I did that, if I put the R and V there, right, I'd have Y and Z left, right? See how you just go to your visual bank, right? And I put my Y and Z there, and I have my answer, and the answer is A, and I could care less about B, C, D, and A. Do you see it? Talk
Yeah.
about it. I need you to practice. I need you not to do this under time conditions unless you're, getting ready to actually sit for the test. And just analogize to, for those of you who understand what long division is, analogize to the drawing you do on the test will be less than the drawing you do in preparation for the test. You with me? You're just going to get better at it. But the drawing allows your mind to wrap itself around actually how to proceed, how it gets done. Then you simply get it done faster because you don't need, like I'm training wheels. You're just going to dispose of me. Well, but that's what it is. I'm training wheels, right? And training wheels are really, really important for most people who want to ride a bicycle. Yeah. But they don't last forever.
Before I took this class, I was lost. Now I'm making realistic scores.
Oh, yay.
Agreed. I second that.
Oh, yay. Well, but there's no magic to this. This is,
You're the magic.
Let's keep the training wheels.
I'll have to run that one by Vicky. See how that works. Vicky, I'm the magic. That's what they told me. But you see it, right? And you're not trying to be perfect, and you've got a plan, and you're not going to rush yourself, and you're not going to fold your tent when you encounter a setback. Because you're going to encounter setbacks. So if you don't, I don't know what kind of life that is. I don't know how you have success in the absence of failure. Exactly how's that?
Free pride.
Because opposites have to exist. You can't be happy if you've never been sad. How would you ever be, if you've never been sad, how God's not going to be happy? It's probably planned for this stuff. But whether there is or not, that's how you would do this.
Did you say that
A was the answer to that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, look, look.
It cannot-
Number 15?
It cannot,
It's-
number 14 or 15?
That's
Oh, 15.
That's
Oh,
15.
okay.
Hey, pick up, smell the flowers, will you?
I thought you said 14, I'm like.
No.
And it appears we have an opening for Michael, is there, Marie, did you want to?
Yes.
This is your last chance.
Yes.
Get down there, get down there. Don't let him slither away. So we're okay on this one? And you can, yeah, but you can do this one. Like, what is it you didn't do?
No, I got it right. It took me too long to organize.
That's fine. That's fine. Right now, that's fine. But the key is, can you organize it this way? And again, what's the standard? Because if the standard is getting everything right, you know, it's rare. You know, if you got everything right on 2 of the hypotheticals, right, then you're allowing yourself 17 and a half minutes for 2 of them, right? There you go, you got a 12. And then you guessed the rest of the test, and you got a 14, and you're at the median. So how you approach the test has got to reflect your strength and your weaknesses. As in law school, it'll have to reflect your, and certainly in law it will. Okay. So, anything else on, you okay, shall we move to logical, or does anybody want to do the one more analytical? Okay, that's good, take that. Now, again, these are on video, so all that's on video. The exam 79, the logical is all on video, right, because you have the on-deck stuff, which will be up on Tuesday.
Yeah, let's look at number 17 on,
I'm sorry?
number 17
I'm sorry, number 17 on what?
on 3, section 3, large analytical. Logical.
Well,
If
no.
system, this is-
Ed.
Okay. You don't want to, okay.
Well, yeah, because I really want to get into
Okay.
either a fresh new hypothetical.
Let's get into some
Yeah.
fresh news then. So,
Excellent.
fresh.
What is the video on the logical section you're assessing that?
The videos are, the class videos on the class. The analytical videos are in the analytical library.
Yeah.
The logical reasoning videos for this are it's on deck in class. You'll have the 3rd class you're registered for, it's on deck. It's me on the deck of my house. Yeah. You'll meet Shelby. Okay, Yamil, what'd you have? What were we going to do? Let me start this
There's
fresh.
questions, but mainly